My dad, from when he first came to this country, loves this country more than anything. My dad always had his corporation's name, like he's always Land of the Free Corporation, God Bless America Corporation. My corporation, the Diner, is called Home of the Brave Corporation. So we grew up loving our country because my dad came from nothing in the middle of the Greece. For him, this country means everything. So we grew up that way, right? So then my brothers and sisters, police officers and stuff like that, at a time like now, especially the days we live in, people say to me, oh, thank you. You know what? To me, it's just normal. Isn't that normal to be appreciative of our police officers?
You would think.
And that's to me, it's just a normal thing. So when people say thank you to me, it's like, all right, I appreciate them saying thank you, but it should just be a normal thing to love our police, to love our military, to love our people that protect us every day, that make our living, that we can do what we can do because of them.
Welcome to Staying Hungry. Today's guest, I think fair to say, has transformed the diner business. Gus from Embassy Diner. Thank you for joining.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah,
Vinny and I. So, Gus, the diner business has contracted, I think, considerably over the past 10 years or so, and you're expanding. Not necessarily maybe by quantity of locations, but your guest count, and if no one has been to Embassy in Bethpage, you guys are packed all day long.
Yes, thank God.
And thank goodness. How come?
I'm going to tell you there's a lot of reasons why. So the diner business was but a lot of, all the years ago was Greeks. Immigrants from Greece that came down, like my dad, like my grandpa, like all these older guys that came from Greece, and they didn't really know much. Then they started in the diner business, and that's how they started. So you're talking about the 60s, 70s, 80s, was all successful diners all over the place. You looked, Queens, Brooklyn, diners were thriving in those days.
It was a place to go.
Thriving.
As a family.
Yep, and it was thriving. So what happens is, right, but it's hard work. So now you got kids my age, when they were kids in the 80s, 90s, kids, right? They're seeing what their dads never saw their dads, never saw nobody. It's a lot of hard work. And now, as a dad, you don't want your kid to work 7 days a week. You don't want your son or your daughter to be able to do a living like that. You want them to be a lawyer, doctor, that kind of stuff. You want them to go to school because that's what Greek immigrants' dream, right? Is to have a lawyer, have a doctor. So a lot of the kids went to school that were in the business. So I went to school too. I went to Hofstra too. But the love and the passion that I had for the diner just wouldn't go away.
What did you study at Hofstra?
Business management.
Business management, okay.
Business management, right? But I could have taught them everything they knew anyway, but I did go to school because, you know why I went to school? And this is the God's honest truth. I went to school because my dad wanted to see that diploma.
Yep.
There was no other reason. I already knew what I wanted to do.
Did he not want you to go into the business?
Did not. I'm going to give you a story. And Anthony told me to say this story, and it's a true story. I'm going to tell you this story. I really didn't tell that many people. My brothers and sisters are all police officers, first responders. NYPD, Nassau County Police, MTA Police. My brother-in-law was a state trooper, now he's Old Westbury Police.
Thank them for their service.
Thank you, I appreciate that. My whole family's police officers, but I'm the oldest, right? So I'm the oldest kid. When I was 21 years old, my dad's like, you're going to go take the MTA police test. I said, Dad, I don't want to be, I know what, you're going to take the test. So, you know, me, whatever, I go take the test. I went out the night before, go take the test in the morning. I'm like, whatever, I didn't study. I passed, all right? Then about 2 months later, 3 months later, okay, you got to go take the physical now. I said, Dad, I don't want to take the physical. I told you, you're going to take the physical. I go take the physical, whatever. So about 3-4 months later, I was living in my parents' basement in the bottom, and the mail came. So I remember my dad yelling and screaming, you got to come upstairs, you got to come upstairs. So we had this big kitchen table. So my dad is sitting on the end of the counter, and I'm sitting on the other side of the table. Then he goes, stay here. He goes in his room. This is a true story. He goes in his room. He grabs a duffel bag, and he throws the duffel bag on the kitchen table. And this is how bad he wanted me out of the diner business. He says to me, there's $50,000 in there. You take the job, the money's yours.
Wow.
True story. True story. 21-year-old kid now, just put yourself in my shoes. 21-year-old kid looking at your dad throwing you money like that. You're thinking cars, you're thinking girls, you're not thinking as a businessman of, now, to be honest, do I regret it? No, because I don't regret anything I do in life. But I would have had my pension, I would have had the benefits, I would have had everything right, and then I would have still been able to do the diner. But in hindsight, you can't look back on it. But my dad, that's how bad, you asked me how my dad, that's how bad my dad wanted me out of this business.
Wow.
Out of this business.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess you answered the question. Do you regret it at all? And you can't, because maybe it just wasn't in the cards.
It wasn't in the cards.
For you.
I don't know. I just have such a passion and I love what I do that all these years working with my dad always had diners. You know, my dad had, from 1973 to 1990 had a diner in Rosedale, the Cross Island Diner in Queens. That was 17 years. From 1990 to 2000, we had a diner in Seaford, on Merrick Road, the Seaford Palace.
Okay.
And from 2001 until 2000, when I left, 22, my father had the diner out east in Islip, which is still family. My dad retired from there, but
okay.
It's still my cousins and my uncles.
What is it?
Okanee Diner, yeah. So I was there so many years. So all those years of me working with my dad, right? It was never mine, right? It was never mine. So I was just like a caged animal waiting to break out. So when I had the opportunity, and when I saw the Orbis Diner, you know, when I started to talk, that's why you asked, like, I've been held back so long, not held back by my dad, but just because it was never mine, right? So my ideas or whatever, I could never
You'd
get
always
through.
have to go to him
I could never get broken through. It was my dad, my
Typical
uncle.
family
Exactly.
dynamic.
So I was just like a caged animal just waiting to break out. And once I broke out, I was off to the races.
So where did, at what age did you start working at the diner?
10.
10.
10, man. The one thing I do regret is not playing high school sports, because I loved sports, but because practice and everything, I had to be at the diner to work. So
you were, even at a young age, that young, you were in the diner almost every day.
Almost every day, yeah. You know, I would work the
Obviously,
register.
you went to school.
I'd work the register. My dad had the Seaford Palace at the time. We had a line at the door. I'd do it at the NBC now. I'd give spinach pie while the people were waiting. I'd give you soda. I'd be a little bread boy, bring bread to the tables, you know, that kind of thing. You know, it's just nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But you bring up a good point of just, you know, the transition now of why diners are reducing. You said you had to give up pretty much your after-school activities to work in that diner.
Yeah.
Now there's like 4,000 after-school activities. I mean, you see it with your son of, you know, sports activities. You know, how, I guess, talk us through that, of just that environment at that time of just being tied into the family business and being a way of life.
It was hard. I mean, I loved it, don't get me wrong, but I remember there was one time, every summer I would work 7 days a week. Every summer. And the people would look at me, yeah, I'm on my 15th day, I'm on my 25th day, I'm on my 30th day, I'm on my 50th day.
Back to school.
They look at me like I'm crazy. 7 days a week during the summer.
You'd almost look,
Not because my dad...
He'd almost look forward to go back to school.
I almost look forward, but I also enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, I also enjoyed it. Did I miss some stuff? But I also enjoyed it. My dad didn't make me do it. It was a reason for me to go hang out with my dad. Because if I didn't go to the diner, I never saw my dad. You know, and that was the thing. And if I didn't go to the diner, I never saw my dad. I used to have sometimes when I used to be home in the summertime, he used to have a waiter, because I'd be like, I want to go see my dad. At 9 o'clock at night, he'd have a waiter come and pick me up from the house and drive me back to the diner, and I'd leave with my dad. I'd be sleeping in the booth like 1 o'clock in the morning.
So your dad was front of house type of thing?
Front of house, always.
Never behind.
Never
in the kitchen.
Always front of house. Because it was him and my uncle always. My uncle would be the back, my dad would be the front. He'd always have partners. And that's another thing. I love my family. I love my uncles. I love everything. But it's nice to be now no partner. Like that was another thing that I have in the back of my mind. Like I just wanted to do what I wanted, when I wanted. Didn't have to ask nobody, and everything falls on me type thing. So that was another thing that I broke off. That my dad always, all his years in the business, always had my uncle, always had partner, which is fine. We love each other. It's all great. But I wanted to do something just by myself.
Did they have more than one location at a time?
No, they never did that, and they never. I don't think they had the drive to do it.
Okay.
I don't think that's something they couldn't. I don't think they had the drive to do it. We'll see. Me, I'm only 3.5 years there, so I'm not ruling it out. There's still stuff that I have to finish there before I want to go somewhere else. So
got it. If you could describe to listeners. I've been there, you know, countless times, but you decorate every holiday. I always ask this. My wife's like, "What is wrong with you? Why do you always ask this thing? Where do you put all this stuff?"
Everybody asks that all the
But
time.
talk about how you decorate it, because I feel like not only is it a diner, it's like a destination for an hour. You kind of forget about craziness, and you get to look at these awesome decorations.
Well, that's the thing, you know. Anybody can serve you, I say this all the time, anybody can serve you a cheeseburger. Anybody can serve you French fries. It's what you do differently and how you serve it differently, right? It's that smile at the door when they come in and say, hey, how are you, right? Other people just take a menu, throw it down, they do whatever. you have to treat the customer differently. So that's one. But two is the decorations, right? The atmosphere. The atmosphere is huge. And you come in, everybody has that, like, I love to have the music cranking outside. Love to have music cranking inside. I love to have the TVs, the thing. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people want to go and see quiet and just whatever. I'm not about that. I like atmosphere. So the decorations for me, it brings the kids in. The kids bring their parents in and say, I want to go to the decorated diner. I want to go to the lollipop diner because we give lollipops to the tables. I want to go, they love it.
Just little things that go along.
Where did that come from? The idea of...
My dad started that. My dad
at a different location?
In the 1970s, my dad, when he had the Cross Island Diner, the first diner that he had, they had the people who used to do Macy's back in the day, used to do Macy's, was a good friend of my dad. So he would do, as a favor to my dad, only my dad's diner, he would do Christmas and Valentine's Day, just two. Christmas and Valentine's Day. So we kept that up from the 70s, 80s, 90s in the Seaver Palace. And then when we got to the Oakland Diner, the guy was retiring. The first year we bought the Oakland Diner, he was retiring. So he goes to my dad, listen. So my dad says, all right. He took the cook out from the kitchen, one of the guys from the Oakland Diner. He goes, I want you to follow this guy around, see what he does, learn. I'm going to buy all the stuff from him, and we're going to add every year. And it just incorporated, just blew up from Valentine's Day to Christmas to St. Patrick's Day to Easter. And then throughout the whole summer is all decked out USA, which is my favorite.
Right.
All decked out in flags, red, white, and blue throughout the whole summer because you got Memorial Day, Labor Day, July 4th. Throughout the whole summer is decked out in the red, white, and blue.
Where do you keep all the stuff?
Downstairs in the basement, all nice in bins.
If my wife's listening,
all
it's
ready
in the
to go.
basement.
You're finally getting the answer.
All nice in bins, ready to go, man. It's all good.
That's awesome. And so diners are constricting or going away. There's so many menu items. If you could just talk about that challenge or managing, because there's still so many items on the menu.
It is, but here's the thing. Everything in life is getting used to, right? So like in the beginning, it was hard in the beginning when I first bought the diner because it was going like this, straight up, because every week would just get busier and busier and busier. So sometimes you run out of items because you weren't used to ordering it, right? Now it's just that it's such a pace that I know pretty much it's easy now.
Okay.
Because you know what you're doing every week. Yeah. Roundabout, right? Maybe one week you might do a little more, maybe one week you do a little less, but roundabout right now it's on easy level. It's no big deal. The beginning was very hard.
Now, has technology helped you with that of just managing like the week in and out?
Yeah,
the menu,
I have the computer system, the POS system that tells you everything. Yeah. So it
gives you more insight of
huge.
What did I do
That's
this
another
week?
Thing exactly that my dad and my uncles didn't have that back in the day, right? Yeah, they were just guessing. So now you got the POS system. You can go back and see how many burgers did I sell this week, how many fish did I sell this week, how many. It's easy.
Gus, do you need more skilled labor in the kitchen because of the extensive menu, and you have a lot of specials, or are these just short order cooks?
These are all right. So here's what you got. You got a main chef, right, who does all the chef specialties like the beef stews, the beef stroganoffs, the beef goulashes, the pepper steaks, the chicken pot pies, all that old school stuff that I brought back that the diners started going away from, right? So I was huge into that because here's my thing, and this is what I do at the diner, and a lot of people think I'm nuts, but this is what I do at the diner. You go to a diner, you think cheeseburger, you think grilled cheese. You don't think a beef stew, right? You don't think a beef stroganoff, right? So when you come into my diner, I'm giving you a little beef stroganoff or beef stew for you to try. So you know that this is legit and I got a legit place that you know you can come to and have. And I'll put up my beef stew versus anybody's beef stew. A 5-star restaurant, I'll put it up against everyone. That's what kind of food I have, right? So I want people to start understanding that the Embassy Diner is not just a diner where you go for a cheeseburger. You can come there for a sirloin steak. You can come there for a main steak. I buy top of the line stuff because not only, again, I don't have a partner. I can afford to spend a little more because I don't have to share with nobody. Mm-hmm. I can buy the top of the top and give you the top of the top.
Are you involved in any of the cooking or
well, yeah, I mean, I oversee it. Like if I'm going walking back and forth and I see them cooking, like I have trust in my chef, I have trust in my guys, but I'm constantly walking back and forth the kitchen. If there's something that I don't like, I'm going to say it. Mm-hmm. If there's something that I do like, I'm going to accentuate it. That kind of stuff, 100%. But these are the little things that I do that differentiates yourself from everybody else. Where else are you going to go to a diner and you're going to get on your table a little pepper steak, you're going to do a little sausage and peppers? Like nobody does that.
Yeah,
nobody does that.
What has it been like over the past few years with just labor in particular? Finding challenges?
It's hard, but the good thing is like I was brought up differently. My dad always treated everybody like family, you know. So we have a good relationship. I'm not just saying, I know it sounds cliche, but my guys are my family. They know it, and that's why they never leave. They stay with me because I treat them like family. I take care of them, and they take care of me. So I'm a big believer in that. You take care of your guys are going to take care of you. Because we go to war every day together. Not war. I'm using a paraphrase of, when you go to war, you want your soldiers with you, right?
Yeah.
The general wants his soldiers with. So when I go to war every night, meaning the diner's busy, I'm using a paraphrase, my soldiers are with me, and I'm right there with them. I don't let them just work and then the general sits back and does nothing. I'm right there with them, and that's another reason why it's hard for me to get away.
Right. It
For
took
me
us
to get
weeks
away.
to try to get to sit together
for
like
me to
this.
get away, because I don't like to leave the diner, because that's my biggest problem, is because I'm still their general. I'm still training them the way that I want them to be trained. It's not complete yet.
Yeah, but it's
commendable.
leading by example also.
Exactly.
I think that shows a lot of employees. We talk about it at work. People see, there's absentee owners, and a lot of workers will look at them as like,
Yeah.
they're
not
they
doing
don't need
nothing, they're making the money.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
making all the money. They're
And
not
I'm doing
really
all the work,
here.
yeah.
They're not in the trenches, as you put it earlier.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Gus, what you give back a ton. I don't know that I'll get it all accurate, but you're huge with the police, the fire department. You said your siblings
Yep.
serve, and thank you again. But what does that mean to you? And for listeners, when you go to the diner, you walk in, and if you're walking up the steps to the left, there's tons of pictures of some local politicians that support as well. I mean, what does that mean to you?
Again, my dad, from when he first came to this country, loves this country more than anything. My dad always had his corporation's name, like he's always Land of the Free Corporation, God Bless America Corporation. My corporation, the diner, is called Home of the Brave Corporation. So we grew up very loving our country, because my dad came from nothing in the middle of the Greece. So for him, this country means everything. So we grew up that way, right? So then my brothers and sisters, police officers and stuff like that, it's at a time like now, especially the days we live in, people say to me, "Oh, thank you." You know what? To me, it's just normal. Isn't that normal to be appreciative of our police officers?
You would think.
That's to me, it's just a normal thing. So when people say thank you to me, it's like, all right, I appreciate them saying thank you, but it should just be a normal thing to love our police, to love our military, to love our people that protect us every day, that make us have our living, that we can do what we can do because of them.
Right.
Is that like? Has there been any like
Backlash?
negative backlash on that in regards to just
very little, even if it does, yeah.
Well, that's good.
You see a little bit on the internet, but I don't even pay attention to it.
Yeah.
I don't even pay attention to it.
You ever think that, not just being a business owner, but what social media has, I think, helped propel you?
Huge.
I mean,
Huge.
You do a ton of it. You enjoy it?
You can ask my boy over there, Anthony. In the beginning, he pushed me to do it. It was a little rough in the beginning, but it's becoming huger and huger. I'm getting more like this, what we're doing now, I would have never been able to do 3 years ago. But it's just, as you do something more often, it's like riding a bike. But, it's not that hard, because everything that I'm saying is coming from my heart. I'm telling you the truth, like even that drone show that I did.
I was going to ask you.
It was...
Describe what you did. How did you do it? Like, what was the idea? And I'm sure there was a lot of logistics behind it. So
it was huge.
Talk about it.
It was so we have a friend of mine that comes to the diner, and I knew he does drones, right? So originally when he came to the diner, I said to him, "Listen, I'm going to ask you something crazy. I don't think it's ever been done before, but I want to know what you think about it." So I said to him, "I really want to do something for 9/11, a tribute with drones in the air above the diner. And what do you think?" He goes, "What?" Because this guy's from like Cyprus, like he's from Cyprus, from Greece, like, but he does shows all over the country, California, Arizona. He does all over the United States. So anyway, he's huge. So I said to him, he goes, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah, I really want to do something like that." He goes, "Well, we got a lot of things to do. We got to get air traffic, the air traffic closed around the diner, that kind of stuff." And I said, "I'll take care of that." I said to him, "Just let's see what we can do, but I really want to know if you're interested." He says, "Yeah, I'll do it 100%. I said, "Okay." So we got in. So then I got in touch with air traffic. I had closed the airspace down for the amount of time that we needed the airspace for the drones. I had to get Plain Edge Middle School, the soccer field, involved for them to drones because it was 250 drones.
Yeah, I don't live that far from you, but I wasn't around, so I was curious, where did they lift them from?
From the Plain Edge soccer field.
You're right on Hempstead Turnpike, so I was always wondering.
From the Plain Edge soccer field. They had to have the field. They had to close it off. We had to have the cops close it off so nobody messed with the drones. It was a big production, and me and my brother were talking about. I was talking to my brother. He goes, "Guys, I hope people show up because it's going to be kind of embarrassing if nobody shows up." Right?
Over 300 drones, right?
Over 350 drones, and it was 5,000 people that Nassau County Parade showed up. So I looked at my brother afterwards and said, "You think enough people showed up?" He's like, "Yeah." Bro, it was crazy.
So
was
this was
crazy.
on 9/11.
No, it was the day before.
Or
the day
something
before.
like that? Yeah, because
Because 9/11, a lot of people have a lot of things going on. We're going to do something. We're in the works. We're going to do something huge this year because of the 25th one. Yeah. So now I started a trend. So we're going to do something big this year too.
Wow, that's cool. So that really took, no pun intended, an army to put that together.
That was a big production. I had to get the stage.
On
I had
a lot
to get
of levels.
speakers. Oh, it was no joke.
Night?
It was at night. It was beautiful.
Yeah, right?
Look it up on the internet.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was something that I'd never seen before. It was amazing. And then, of course, in the end, we put the Embassy Diner in the air.
That's pretty cool.
That's amazing. And what else? And I want to thank you. You helped us support a fundraiser last Monday for the Island Harvest Turkey Drive. So thank you, offering
My
up
pleasure.
sponsorship and gift cards, and over 450 families will receive a turkey and some fixings because of that. So thank you. But you do way more than that. Who else do you help out?
We do a lot. Warrior Ranch Foundation. I mean, this Veterans Day, I had a float in Manhattan, in the middle of Manhattan, on the parade that said Embassy Diner on it, home of the brave. We do a lot. I was just nominated Bethpage St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to be the Grand Marshal.
Okay.
The Grand Marshal. Yesterday, one of the biggest honors that I can ever receive. It's like the Pope giving, in the Catholic religion, the Greek Orthodox Archbishop from the church gave me the highest civilian honor you can get for giving to the community and giving to the churches.
Wow, beautiful.
So that's like for us, it's like the Pope giving you a
gratifying.
So it was really high honor. I was there with my kids. Listen, guys, God has blessed me, and the thing I can tell you is that in my eyes, God gives you to give, right? So you got to give in this world, man. It's especially the people who need and who deserve it. You got to give in this world. You should just be putting stuff in your pocket. You should be giving and giving.
It's very nice of you. Really commendable. And talk about, if you like, your family. You have children?
Yeah, I got 3 kids. I got my wife and 3 kids. My wife is a teacher in Locust Valley. Anne, I love her if she's listening. My son is in kindergarten, 5 years old. My daughter's in 2nd grade, 7 years old. And my little daughter is preschool. She's 4.
Very
She's
nice.
4.
So they working in the diner yet?
Not yet. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I tried. My daughter's 7. I tried to get her and she's a little shy, so I don't see it going. My son, maybe. My son's 5. We'll wait another year. Maybe he'll get into it. But yeah, I'm gonna get her there.
It's always so hard to predict the future. But would you try as hard as your father to keep them out of the business at the moment?
I think about that all the time, man. I really do. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna work my butt off to do as much as possible for them not to have to come to the diner. I'm gonna try everything in my power, not to dissuade them, but just to be able to understand that they have other avenues if they want
Maybe
to.
bigger duffel bag.
Yeah,
maybe?
Yeah, more money in that
other
double.
avenues if they wanted to. Because man, listen, it's a grind. It's a grind. People say to me, people. Here's my thing. What I have, I work my butt off for, right? So nobody can ever take that away from me. So when I went to buy my car, my dad's like, "Oh, you're gonna buy a nice car." If they want to come work 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, like I work, they can have anything they want. Nobody gives me anything. Mm-hmm. I work for every little thing that I have and what my family has. When I go on vacation, yeah, I'm gonna buy the best of the best because I work for it.
Sure.
Nobody gave me that. I earned that.
Other guests have said this, and this business could rip the soul out of you, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yeah, but I don't let it bother me. Anybody that comes in, I kill them with kindness, man. I don't, it's not worth my time. Somebody comes in and starts yelling and screaming, "I don't like this," I don't like that. But even if they had 10 other things, I'm taking the check. I'm taking the check. I'm not going to argue with you for something so small. It's all good. Have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Be happy.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think you wouldn't have traded that time with your father for anything, too.
No,
also.
I wouldn't have. And that's 100%. I would not have traded everything. I used to go to work just to hang out with my dad, man. So I wouldn't have traded that time for anything. No.
Yeah, because your dad could have been an electrician or a cop, whatever, and you wouldn't have been able to spend the time. He would have worked probably just as much.
You're right.
You know,
I never thought about that like that. So that's a good point. I never thought of that.
Yeah, so
Is your father's retired? Is he still is he at the counter on the corner?
At the counter in the corner, bro. OG. He doesn't stop.
He's at the first booth.
He's
right,
at the first counter, on the counter. That guy's OG. I could work from 8 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, right? 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock, which I do, and I'll be exhausted, right? And my dad will be sitting in that first seat, and I won't even ask him to sit down. Like if he's there, it's like the guy worked his whole life, man. So, but he loves it. It's in him. He loves it. He just can't stay home, so he comes all the time. He's there. He comes there all the time, and he works harder now than he did before. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Does he live local too?
Yeah, we all live in Wanto. We all live in Wanto. So.
Same street.
No, yeah. That's a funny story is because
everybody loves
my dad grew up on one street, right? I mean, we grew up in my dad's house on one street. So then when we got older, this and that, so we bought our own house. Me and my brother bought a house around the block. Me and my brother would live in it.
Okay.
Then we rent the bottom, whatever. So then I got married, and I said to my wife, why don't we just buy this house? So my wife goes to me, Gus, we're right on the block for your pod. It's a little too close. I don't mean to be close, but it's a little too close.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, you're right. So we went
a couple more stop signs.
Yeah. We went down to South Wanto, so she's good with that.
Got it. Yeah, listen, it's good to have family close because kids get, start to
your
get
mom,
old.
your dad
they need
can
more
help
help.
you. Yeah, help.
Need
Yeah,
help.
especially with three little kids.
Yeah, 3 little kids, and my wife's a teacher, so it's hard, So
Yeah, during the day.
How do you cut loose? Like when you go away, where do you like to go? Do you go back to Greece every summer?
No, I haven't been back to Greece yet. I'm going to tell you why I haven't been back to Greece. My daughter's 4, right? So I want my daughter, the youngest is 4. 2-3 more years, we're going to take our first trip to Greece. And here's why. This is very, very important. My dad, like I told you before, came from the middle of nowhere in Greece with nothing. Poor village, 0. I mean, in a movie, nothing. In the middle of the mountains, nothing. I want to take my kids there and for them to be old enough to understand that what we have, not to take for granted, that your grandpa came from nothing, right? So I want them to understand and to be humble and to understand that this just didn't happen. It happened with hard work. So for me, it's very important. That's why I haven't been to Greece yet. You brought it up. I'm waiting a couple more years for my youngest daughter to be a little older so she can understand that when we go there and I show them that the moment that we see it, that moment hits them and say, wow, look where grandpa came from, like middle of nowhere, nothing. And, because I remember how that felt for me when I first saw it. Yeah. It was a huge thing for me. Like, wow, my dad came from this.
Do you think that's part of the reasoning of why diners are on the decline, just based on the fact that some of this younger generation just doesn't want to work that
100%. 100%.
So it's
100%.
not like, I guess the flip side to that would be, is it because the menu's so vast, there's so many options?
No, it's more
how
of
much are people willing to pay for a cheeseburger?
It's more of a thing of not wanting to work, and that's why a lot of the guys, a lot of the dining guys, oh, this guy does this, haters, but come and work outwork me and then you can talk. But you're gonna outwork me.
You're saying they hate on you because I'm
busy. I'm this. I'm that.
You decorate.
I decorate. I'm this. I'm that. I do too many things. I give too many things away. I do this. Hate on me all you want, but you're never gonna outwork me. That will never happen, and that's why they're not as busy as me, because they will never outwork me.
I mean,
it's the same.
I can tell you. I see you. You're in the mix with shaking hands and making sure
Kissing
everything
babies.
is kissing babies, throwing them into the decorations.
What is that decorating like? Do you have to do it at night?
We do it at night. He comes. So it's the cook. Remember, I told you it's the cook, right? It's the cook from the other diner that comes and helps me out in this diner too. So he decorates and he comes at nighttime. So like he'll come sporadically during the week at like 9 o'clock at night and start and work till 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, because we close at 2 in the morning sometimes. Yeah. So he'll start in one room where there's not that many customers and then fall to the other room when the customers leave. So he does his thing.
It's by himself.
By himself. Sometimes he brings his wife to help him, but yeah, by himself. It's not a big company, just one guy that's a family friend, and it's he's family to us. So
I don't like taking like the 10 bins out of my shed.
Does he do
I know. I give him that honesty, bro. And he's not a young guy. He's gonna kill me for saying this, but he's not a young guy either. But the guy's a machine. He's another guy that you cannot work him either. He's a machine. He's a machine.
I'll give you my address after. You can come by my house.
That's what people say to me all the time. Do you do your house like this? I said, guys, I'm here all the time. My wife's in charge of the house. I don't have time for that. My wife's in charge of the house.
Yeah. Last night I got home and the house across the street from me, they just put all these decorations up and it came out unbelievably. And I'm said to myself, I'm like, oh shit, my wife's gonna be so annoyed and want me to compete
Now
with
you gotta
that.
top that.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh man.
What does your wife teach?
She's sixth grade.
Yeah,
she's math and English.
I mean, it's from somewhat.
Math and science. I'm sorry.
Got it. My family's been in the restaurant business for 40 years, and it takes a whole support system for a family to be in the restaurant business because of the grind.
I'm gonna tell you something. So it's funny you say that because when I worked with my dad, and he had his diners in the Oakland Diner, it was partners and stuff like that, right? So my dad worked nighttime, so I would work only nighttime. So during the day, I raised my wife was a teacher, so during the day I was raising my son and my daughter, my first two. I would get home at 2 a.m, wake up at 6 a.m, and watch the kids all day long until my wife came home, and then I'd go to work. That's how we did it, right? Because I was able to do that. So when I had the opportunity and I thought about breaking off to go someplace myself, I had to have a conversation with my wife. I said, listen, we're having our third. I know this is, we had our third in October, and I bought the diner in April. So my daughter was only 6 months old. I said, what do you want to do? I said, this is going to be a big step that I need your backing, because if I don't have your blessing, there's no way I can do this. I need, because I am.
You're going all in.
Especially the first 2 years, I will not be here. You will not even see me. It's going to be, got to go hard in the beginning because you got to build, right? You got to build
20-hour days.
Yeah, so it was rough in the beginning. I'm not going to lie to you. It was rough. It took a big gamble on my part. Because now you got 3 kids, a newborn, right? 2 kids and a newborn. And you're coming from a place where you're making money. My dad was doing good, right? My dad was doing good. Everything was set. When he retired, I was going to take his spot. Everything was going good. I took a big gamble to break my own and start this. It wasn't just, especially with the kids at home. If it was just me, whatever, who cares, right? Yeah. But you got a wife and kids to worry about. It was a big gamble. But my wife did give me the push, and she's like, Gus, I know you can do it. I know you've been born to do this, and do it. And without her blessing, this would have never happened. But yeah, she did give. It's funny. She gave me the push. She gave me the push to have the guts to go do it.
Nice. Is she Greek as well?
No, she's not. She's Irish-German.
Okay.
That's why I told the guys yesterday, the Bethpage St. Patrick's Day parade, I said, don't worry, my wife's Irish, so it should be all good.
That's where the beef specials come from.
Yeah. Corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah.
Gus, you mentioned, sorry, Vin.
No, good.
You mentioned when we first sat that maybe more, down the road, you have some more stuff to do here in Bethpage. I mean, can you talk about that or what you think maybe what could come down the road? We're working on some things at the diner now to try to get not expanded, but we always have a problem with parking. So I'm making a deal right now to get a little bit more parking. Then we can make the diner a little bit more bigger, and then we're gonna do something nice in the front to do thing. Once that's done, and the diners can breathe a little bit, because right now it's hard for me to breathe because the parking's a little tough for me, right? You've seen the diner. Yeah.
The parking's a little tough.
Parking in this lot, that lot, down the street.
So once I can get this breathe and I can exhale a little bit more, then it frees me up to do more stuff that I want to do. Now, depending on other restaurants, other steakhouse, diner, but something we're going to do.
Food related.
Food related. Yeah, I mean, listen, to stick what you know, man, I know about food, as you could tell. I know about food. So I tell everybody all the time, they ask me, what do you think about this? I said, does it look like I know what I'm talking about? Of course I know what I'm talking about.
It's a business card.
Yeah, exactly.
Are there any, I guess we always talk about this, of next in line? I mean, obviously your kids are too young. Are there guys within the diner or in your circle that, that might be that person that you can kind of put in charge?
That's what we're working on now. Like I said, it's coming along. That's what we were saying before. They're starting to learn my system. It takes a while because, you can't just teach that. It has to be in you. You can't teach certain things. You can't be fake with people, right? It's got to be genuine. And that's the one thing that I get back all the time. That's what I love. And that's why it makes me so happy is when we started these videos with me and Andy. We started these videos. It's people say to you, I come across genuine because I am genuine. Anything I say is from my heart. Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to try to sell you something.
Yeah.
If I don't believe it, I won't say it.
Right.
If I don't believe it, I won't say it. Anything I do and anything I believe it, and the love that I give people and the care that I give people is genuine. It's genuine because I love when people come in, and to make somebody happy is the best thing in the world. There's no better feeling.
You can't fake that though.
Yeah, I was going to say your energy is unmatched.
Yeah.
I mean, either someone has that or not, and maybe not to the extent, but I guess look out if you have someone on your team that brings the same enthusiasm and energy, because you guys do it right. Really, no both. What do I have to benefit? I mean, I just, besides going in and enjoying the meals that I have there, but really, you guys have set yourselves apart. It's unbelievable. You have any hobbies that you like to do?
Listen, before I bought the diner, I had a lot of hobbies. I used to like going fishing. I used to like playing golf. I used to do all those things before I bought the diner. Now, there's no hobbies right now. Listen, hopefully we'll get back to it in a little
rearranging a parking
in a
lot.
couple more years. Yeah, right now, hopefully in a couple more years we'll get back to that. As of right now, no. The sparingly. My brother's, like I told you, NYPD, right? So my brother comes when he has off, he has alternating days off. He doesn't have set days off. So like maybe once or twice a month I'll get off because he'll be there. So those once or twice a month, I have to be honest, you guys, I just want to, you know what I do on my day off? If I'm off, I take my kids to gymnastics and I'll hang out there and watch my kids play gymnastics. I'll take my kids to dance. I'll take my daughter to dance. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but that's what I want to do. Yeah. I just want to see my kids.
It's easy. Yeah. Spending time.
I just want to be regular, and hang out with my kids and just chill and do nothing.
That's commendable,
Yeah.
What the diner's open every day?
Every day, 7 days a week. During the week, Sunday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday, 24 hours. And listen, the reason before I bought the diner, I remember the old owner made a joke to me. He goes, Gus, because before COVID, they used to be 7 days a week, 24 hours a day before COVID. So he goes to me, I don't even know if I have a key anymore. He goes, I don't even know where the key is to give to you when we signed the closing. Right. I said, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, his daughter ended up finding it, and he gave it to me. But back in the day, that's how it was. Would I consider it now? No. I'll tell you why I wouldn't consider it. For the 2 to 6, whatever, from Sunday through Thursday, it's more, not more of a business thing. It's more of asking the help to do it.
Right.
Asking the help to do it because they've gotten used to it. So now to ask them to do those 4 hours are huge. It's not. I used to work them, so I know.
Do you think you even have to do 2 to 6? Like, could you close at 12 and it wouldn't make a difference? Or
no.
Is there a crowd?
Not only the crowd. I the 2 I like. The 2 I wouldn't change. The 2 I wouldn't change. I just wouldn't go more than 2. But sure. 2 I like. It's nice to have the diner open. You never know. Especially with the hospital across the street, you never know what kind of emergencies or this and that. I want to be there for them. I want to be there for the community. I want them to know that 2 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning, you come, you're going to be able to eat.
But has the nightlife shift changed what diner experience?
It has. It's not what it used to be. These kids. A lot of the kids now, video games, not going out. There's no really clubs anymore. Back in the day, it was clubs.
Our days, it was like
everywhere
a given.
You
would go to the diner and get
cheese fries
and gravy.
We used to work. When we were down in Island Park, and we used to go to.
Oh, it was so much fun.
What was it, East Bay Diner? That now is like a CVS.
Yeah.
But who was the guy that used to run that? Mo, right?
Yeah.
3, 4 o'clock in the morning, the diner would be open.
Different days, man. Different days. But Friday and Saturday, we get a good crowd, though. I got to be honest with you. Friday and Saturday, late night, because, again, there's nobody else out there. And the diner has life, man. It's not just that boring. This diner has life. I'm not just saying it because it's mine. It's just you got that radio pumping outside. You got the lights, and you got the action, and you got the decorations. It's got life. It's got energy, man. And that's what I love is like people come in and say, wow, this is so, it's got energy. And that's the best company you can ever give me. Because it's not just one regular diner just sitting there, whatever, bored, and all you hear is the plates and this. No, you hear life and energy.
Yeah.
But we used to I was saying this, it's funny because my daughter's in 8th grade. And I was looking back, I was like, what were we doing in 8th grade, right? And I remember Friday or Saturday nights, we would get 12 kids to go eat dinner at the diner. And that would be where we'd go for that same reason of, there was energy there, right? It was a way to kind of interact instead of just going to someone's house or staying on the phone and not, just chatting over the phone, through Instagram or Snapchat. But I feel like that's kind of, you don't get that kind of feel anymore.
You know what I love the most is, especially when it was like September, October, it was the homecomings, right? There was a lot of homecomings.
Yeah.
And the good thing about the Embassy Diner is, which I love, is you're not surrounded by like one school district. I'm surrounded by like 5 school districts. So there's no greater joy for me on those kind of days at nighttime, like at 10, 11 o'clock at night, when they're pouring in their sweaters that say Bethpage, Farmingdale, Island Trees, MacArthur, Division. It's awesome feeling to see all these mixed schools in one diner, and the diner's pumping with all kids coming from homecoming, coming from cheer, it's such a good feeling, man. It's a pretty cool feeling because it brings back the days like when we were young. Yeah. So it's a good feeling.
Nice. Gus, do others seek you out to look for guidance, consulting, on what you're doing in the diner and maybe even other restaurants? Just because the sheer energy and you're everywhere through social media.
Yeah, some other not diners, some other restaurants. I mean, listen, I see a lot going on, right? So I see a lot of diners all of a sudden are starting to put up a couple pumpkins. So are starting to put up a little hearts. Are starting to put up a little shamrock. So listen. They can do everything they want. Nobody's stopping them from decorating, but I can promise you one thing, and I can think, they will never outwork me and they'll never be me in the front. The personality that I have, they can never duplicate it, and they never will.
It's a compliment.
Yeah, I think when I see those things, and I say to my dad, I said, look at these guys. They 50 years in the business, they never decorated once. Now all of a sudden they start decorating. So my dad goes, exactly what you said. I think it's a compliment, but they think it's the decorations. They think it's... When you come into that diner, you've seen it firsthand. When you come into that diner, the aura and the energy that you get from me, it's genuine. It's genuine. You can't fake that.
Yeah.
They can't duplicate that.
I was going to say, was it often imitated, never duplicated?
Never duplicated, yeah.
So that's where you sit.
Do you find, I know Mike brought it up earlier with labor and cost and increasing the, versus just what your normal day in and day out meals are, whether, like I said, burger, fries type stuff. Is there a concern of just, as costs start to continually go up, that, how do you maintain like a true level of comparison of what you're charging for some of these items? I mean, an omelet can only be so much.
Yeah, right? That's true. I agree with you 100% on that. I mean, listen, we're all in the same range. I mean, I always... I'm always in the same range as everybody else. I'm not like $10 more than anybody else. Yeah. We're going to stay in the same range. So I'm not worried about that because we do so much volume that I don't ever worry about it. Because once you do a lot of volume,
makes up for the...
You're all good. If you do volume, you're good. And that's why I say, like, our stuff is always good because it's always fresh. I'm just flying off the shelves, literally flying off the shelves.
How many guests you serve a week?
I'm going to give you, for instance, I ordered placemats for Toys for Tots for Tenor Oyster Bay. So I had placemats because the Embassy Diner is the top sponsor for that, right? So I ordered placemats last week. I think in 5 days or 6 days, and this is not a joke, we went through 20,000 placemats. Wow. Not a joke. It's not a joke.
Wow.
I just had to call the guy this morning to bring me more. So it's no joke. It's not a joke. The diner's the major leagues.
That's unbelievable.
Your turn is
the turn is huge, but for the hours that I'm open and for the amount of people that are coming in, it's major leagues. But I work it like that. I push it like that. I don't let my foot off the pedal. I'm not saying, oh, we're doing business, let's just stay back and do nothing. I'm spending. I know I got more.
You're trying
coming.
to do 40,000 mats.
Yeah.
So get more people in, give more to the community.
That's why I'm working for the parking lot. That's why I'm working to make the money. Because I'm trying to go as much as possible.
And the staff, must be happy that they're
very happy.
Busy because they are. The more money they make, and
very happy. They're making money.
Treat them well,
and they're happy. Yeah, they're happy. They're happy. Sometimes do they get burnt out and tired? Everybody gets burnt and tired, right? I get burnt out and tired too. I take them to the side and say, listen, we just got to, especially these months, right? November, December, the two busiest months, December especially. So we're just getting started. And then I always remind them, I said, listen, January comes along, February comes along.
A little bit of a breather.
you want to take a week, 2 weeks, and go somewhere? I'll help with my heart. I even pay for it. Just get me through these next couple months. Let's work together. Let's pull it in together for this next 1 month or 2 months. Let's battle it out. And then in January, February, we can relax a little bit, do your thing.
You see a considerable slowdown in those 2 months?
Not considerable, no. Not considerable.
Probably
but,
less than most. Like I know full scale restaurants do, but a diner is right. Your breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yeah, no, it's not considerable. Thank God the diner does pretty same amount of numbers throughout the whole year. But again, you see a huge difference in November and December.
Yeah, big uptick.
Yeah, huge. I mean, I got Santa coming every Tuesday in December. We got a lot of things going on in December. We got the Christmas carolers. I get Christmas carolers that come and sing while the people are waiting online. We do a lot of fun stuff. So,
when I was, I guess I saw you. It was close to Halloween, and I was walking in. My family, I dropped, and then there was no parking spot, so I went, next door. And I'm walking up, and the guy scared the shit out of me in the costume because I thought it was a decoration, and it just enough to
he was a real dude.
Startle me. I felt like a little bit of an idiot, but I was on the phone on the sidewalk. And,
it was a real dude too.
I jumped a little bit.
You're not the only one, man. There's a lot of people, but it's pretty cool.
Have you ever thought about getting valet parking or anything like that at that diner?
No, because we're close to getting. I'm close to getting 60, 70 more spots, so we're close. I'm almost there. We're working on a deal, and we're almost done. And it's going to connect to my parking lot, and it's an undeveloped piece of property, so we're almost close. So once I get done, I can breathe. I can exhale because that's my biggest problem.
Yeah, it's parking.
Your neighbors ever complain, like the residential?
No, they love me.
Do you know who they are?
I know them all, of course. Yeah, of course. And I love them all. There's nothing that I would ever do to hurt. I'm not just saying it sounds cliche. It'd be stupid on my part to ever try to hurt or battle with them, right? Yeah. It would be the dumbest thing in the world. And but it's not because of that. It's genuine. They're nice people anyway. They're really nice people. So there's really nothing to battle with them about.
Yeah. What can you share with listeners that you want them to know about you, the diner, and come check you out?
Listen, I think we've been saying it a lot, but I am unique. The diner is unique. It's got life. It's got action. And it's an experience that, again, I know we say this, right, diner, and we showed this before, diner, cheeseburgers and grilled cheeses. I got really good food, man. I'm very proud of my food. I will put my food up against anybody. So if you are into good food and not just cheeseburgers and grilled cheeses, and you want to come and try my steaks, and you want to come and try my chef specialties like that, beef goulash and beef stroganoffs and beef ragouts and all that kind of stuff, I really challenge you to come down and try it because I'll put it up against anybody's, and you're going to love it. I promise you.
Awesome. And Gus, if you go out with your family and like, you know what, we're not going to the diner, what would you choose? Even
I'm gonna give you a funny story. Really
even
quick
cuisine. But go ahead, please. Yeah.
Quick. It was last year, the year before, whatever. I live in Wanto, right? So my son, I used to pick him up from Maplewood. We used to go to Maplewood, right? So in pre-K. So I picked him up one time when I was over around 2:00. So he goes, I go, what do you want to eat? He goes, I want McDonald's. I'm not going to McDonald's, man. Let's go get some meat. No, he goes, I want McDonald's. So I go to McDonald's.
It must kill you.
I go to the drive-thru, right? He goes, no, I want to go in McDonald's. I'm like, we go to McDonald's, right? So I go up to the cashier. There's like 3 different people. You're the guy from the NBC Diner. They're all looking at me like, what are you doing in McDonald's?
Right. You're probably embarrassed, but you're like,
well,
I'm with the kid.
I'm with the kid. It's not me.
Meanwhile, you get a half pounder at the diner, but
no, I got nothing against McDonald's. I love McDonald's, but but I'm just saying. So anyway, what do I like?
Doing some research.
I like my I'm not doing some research, but it's true though. I'm going to tell you something. Whenever I do go out, my wife thinks it's a big joke. Like I'll order half the menu when we ever go everywhere, and she goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I want to try. I want to try different things to see if I like it, to see if I will do the same thing if I want to change it." So she's like, "There's 2 of us here. You order like 20 plates." I said, I know, but you know why I'm doing it. I said, I want to try these things. I always like to try different things, right? Because you always can learn in life. You don't ever know everything in life. And that's why I love my chef. I love my guys because they're not, my baker, everybody. They're not stubborn. I hate people that, oh, no, my way and the only way. No, I can't stand that. Like, you should always live life to learn every day. There's always something that you don't know that you're going to learn and always have an open mind. So if I go and tell my chef, hey, listen, I tried this the other day at this place. I like it so much better. Let's try it this way. He don't say to me, oh, no, we have to do it my way. He'll try it. And that's why I love our team over there, even the baker. If I go somewhere and have this, I want you to try doing this and try doing it. He tries it. Nobody argues with me, and that's because I lead that way. Like, we should always have an open mind.
I'm always curious. Do any someone from like a younger generation stop in and want to just talk to you about the restaurant business?
Oh, just happened the other day.
Yeah.
I told you I went to MacArthur High School, right? So I'm a big MacArthur guy because I want to give back to my school. That's where I went to, right? So they did a field trip, the AV club, I think the Audio Video Club they call it. They did a field trip to the diner. And one of the things was, it was 16 kids that came in and they wanted to interview me. And they interviewed me of same kind of questions, like, well, how was it growing up in this business, that kind of thing. And they did a whole like 10, 15-minute interview with me for their project at school.
It's rewarding, right?
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. And what was even more rewarding is MacArthur came down for the drone show, and I had the drone show. And after the drone show, bro, I was such a high. It was like 5,000 people, and I was the MC.
You were excited?
I was so pumped up. I was so happy. And then you got this little girl, excuse me, I'm from MacArthur. I'm like, oh. All right, so I said, she comes over and said, come on, let's do the interview. So she interviewed me, and they put it all over the school.
Social,
not social, but the announcements in the morning.
Yeah.
They did the whole announcements in the morning. They did a MacArthur proud Gus Tsiorvas from the NBC. So when I see stuff like that, man, it's rewarding. It really is rewarding, you know, because that's where you grew up. And I told the principal, and I said, it's one thing about me, and that's why I like going to see Greece, where my father was from. You never forget where you come from. No matter where you go in life, you always remember where you started, because that's what's going to ground you.
Amazing. Were you going to ask something?
No.
I don't know if there's anything else, Gus. I mean,
I appreciate you guys.
It's an
honor to be, and I appreciate you guys.
Unbelievable what you do over there. Go check Gus and the team out.
Yep.
You won't be disappointed. The food is amazing. The energy is okay.
I'm definitely gonna try the beef now.
No, bro, no joke. When you come, I'm gonna give it to you. You're gonna love it. Yeah. You're gonna love it.
Continued success. Keep at it. Enjoy the holidays.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Happy
thank
holidays.
you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome.